On Saturday, the UFC will stage its biggest event in recent years, and one of the most historic since the MMA promotion's inception in 1993. Those tags and UFC President Dana White's bold promises for what UFC 300 would entail naturally raised expectations to an unprecedented level. Arguably, expectations were never going to be met unless the event brought the return of Conor McGregor, which is instead due later this year. Fans, for some time, were critical of the UFC 300 card, but that frustration can likely be traced back to White overpromising, particularly on the main event, before it was even booked, and the resulting headline bout, Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill. Still, Pereira versus Hill is a great fight, if not the most glamorous tilt, and it caps off a card of stunning depth. The first prelim of the night pits one former champion against another, and the quality does not let up. So, let's dive into UFC 300, which will go down at Las Vegas's T-Mobile Arena on Saturday. In fact, let's dive into every single fight. The main event, Pereira defends the light heavyweight title against his predecessor, who vacated the belt last year due to injury. For Brazilian Pereira, who previously held the middleweight belt, this is a first defense at 200 kilos, while Hill's injury prevented him from ever defending the gold after he won it against Pereira's compatriot and teammate Glover Teixeira. Pereira is a kickboxing extraordinaire, and his American opponent will want to strike, too. Pereira should have the edge there, and he has shown solid takedown defense aided by Teixeira's grappling news, suggesting he can deal with Hill's plan B. The first ever all-Chinese UFC title fight, aside from a brutal knockout by Rose Namajunas and a narrow points loss in their rematch, Jane has been ferocious in the strawweight division. Xiaonan does not quite have the same pedigree as the champion, and she does certainly not have the same power. The challenges for knockouts before reaching the UFC has been missing since she joined the promotion. A further worry for Xiaonan, though, is that Shane does not need to rely on power. The champion's game is well-rounded enough to give her a clear edge.